Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a poor, unfortunate man. He lived with his uncle. His wife, and his 3 children in a one-room hut. Because they were so crowded, the man and his wife often argued.
Where did you put it? I don't know. I forget.
The children were noisy and they fought.
Give me that. No, stop fighting.
In the winter, when the nights were long and the days were cold, life was especially hard. The hut was full of crying and quarreling. When the poor, unfortunate man couldn't stand it anymore, he ran to Auntie Bella for advice. Auntie Bella, he cried, things are in a bad way with me and getting worse. We are so poor that my uncle, my wife, and my 3 children and I live together in one small hut. We are too crowded and there's so much noise. Help me, please. I will do whatever you say. Auntie Bella rubbed her hands and thought, and at last she said, "Aha! Tell me, my poor man, do you have any animals, perhaps?"
A chicken or 2?
"Yes," the man said, "I do have a few chickens, and a rooster, and a goose." Said Auntie Bella, "Now go home and take the chickens, and the rooster, and the goose into your hut to live with you." "Yes, indeed," said the man, though he was a bit surprised. The poor, unfortunate man hurried home and took the chickens and the rooster and the goose out of the shed and into his little hut. When some days or a week had gone by, life in the hut was worse than before. Now with the quarreling and crying, there was honking and crowing and clucking. There were feathers in the soup. The hut stayed just as small, and the children grew bigger. When the poor unfortunate man couldn't stand it any longer, he ran again to Auntie Bella for help. "Auntie," he cried, "see what a misfortune has befallen me. Now with the crying and quarreling, with the honking, clucking, and crowing, there are feathers in the soup. Auntie, it couldn't be worse. Help me, please." Auntie Bella listened and thought, and at last she said, "Aha! Tell me, do you happen to have
A horse?
Yes, I do have a horse, but he's not worth much," said Auntie Bella. "Now go home and take that old horse into your hut to live with you." "Ah, no, do you really mean it, Auntie?" said the man. Come now, my good man, and do as I say at once," said Auntie Bella. The poor, unfortunate unfortunate man tramped back home with his head hanging down, and he took that old horse into his hut.
Nay! Nay!
When some days or a week had gone by, life in the little hut was much worse. Now, with the crying, quarreling, clucking, honking, and crowing, the horse went wild, neighing and chewing everyone. The hut seemed smaller, the children grew bigger.
Oh no!
When the poor unfortunate man couldn't stand it another minute, he again ran to Auntie Bella. Auntie Bella, help me, he screamed. Now the horse is running wild. Life is a nightmare. Auntie Bella listened and thought, and at last she said,
Aha!
Tell me, my poor man, is it possible that you have a
Cow.
young or old? Doesn't matter. Yes, it is true I have a cow, said the poor man fearfully. Go home then, said Auntie, and take that cow into your hut. Oh, no, surely not, Auntie, cried the man. Do it at once, said the old woman. So the poor unfortunate man trudged home with a heavy heart and took the cow into his hut.
Moo!
Is Auntie Bella crazy, he thought? When some days or a week had gone by, life in the hut was very much worse than before. Everyone quarreled, even the chickens. The horse ran wild, the cow trampled everything. The children got bigger. The poor, unfortunate man could hardly believe his misfortune. At last, when he could stand it no longer, he ran to Auntie Bella for help. Auntie Bella, he shrieked, help me, save me, the end of the world has come. The cow is trampling everything. There is no room even to breathe. It is worse than a nightmare. Auntie Bella listened and thought, and at last she said,
Aha!
Go home now, my poor unfortunate man, and let the animals out of your hut. I will, I'll do it right away, said the man. The poor unfortunate man hurried home and let the cow, the horse,
Nay!
the goose, the rooster, and the chickens out of his little hut. That night, the poor man and all of his family slept peacefully. There was no crowing, no clucking, no honking. There was plenty of room to breathe. The very next day, the poor man ran back to Auntie Bella. Auntie Bella, he cried, you have made life sweet for me. With just the family in the hut. It's so quiet, so roomy, so peaceful. What a pleasure.
Thank you.